Hey folks, this is Rhykker with some tips for Overwatch's new game mode Brawl in the Christmas Winter Wonderland event, Mei's Snowball Offensive. First, just a quick breakdown on what the game mode entails. It's a 6v6 on Eco Point Antarctica. That's the 3v3 map. You can only play as Mei, but it's a modified version of Mei. Her regular gun attacks are replaced with an attack that throws a snowball in an arc similar to Torbjorn's gun. Primary fire launches your snowball, and secondary fire lets you reload at a snow pile. The gun only holds one ammo, and to reload you have to find one of these snow piles and reload for a few seconds on it. Mei's ultimate is completely replaced. When you ult now, you gain a few seconds of infinite rapid fire ammo. Melee attacks are disabled, and once you die, you only respawn once the round is over. Your team wins a round by killing all enemies, and your team wins the game by winning 3 rounds. Every round is on a timer, and when there's 1 minute left, you can see enemies' outlines through walls, so there's no hiding. And once the timer reaches 0, if that ever happens, which is very rare, then the team with the most players left alive wins. Okay, on to our tips. Tip 1. While you're reloading, you can look around. A lot of players don't realize this at first, myself included. You have to look down at the snow pile in order to start your reload, but after that, as long as you're holding down that reload button, you can change view and look around, keep an eye out on incoming enemies. It's critical to do this because you're at your most vulnerable while reloading. You're a sitting duck. If you spot danger, stop that reload and get to safety. You can also take advantage of the fact that a lot of people still don't realize you can look around, so sneak up on people who are reloading and staring at the ground. There's no honor in snowball fights. Easy kills are still kills. Tip 2. When you see someone reloading and you're out of ammo, you can ice wall under them to disrupt their reload. It'll shoot them up in the air, and if you position it right, you can avoid blocking that ice patch, that snow patch, and then you can go and reload yourself. A suboptimal move is to ice wall them and then run away, but then you're just delaying their reload by a few seconds. So it's a lot better if you can disrupt and then get that snow patch before them. Tip 3. Use your ice block to get your enemies to waste their ammo. Often, when you first come into view of an enemy and they have a clear shot on you, they're going to try to take that shot as quickly as possible because they're going to expect you to take a shot as quickly as possible, and it's basically a race as to who kills who first. Take advantage of this fact. Take advantage of their reflex shots and ice block. The snowball has travel time through the air. It's not a hit scan weapon. So your ice block will go up while that snowball is airborne. It's going to hit your ice block, you'll be fine, and your enemy just wasted their ammo. Once you pop out of ice block, you've got an enemy who's been disarmed, and if you still have ammo, then you can take your time and line up your shot, hunt down your enemy, and not be rushed into a twitch shot. Tip 4. If you move while crouching, your footsteps are almost completely silent. Situational awareness is very important, and you should be listening to sound cues to know where your enemies are. Expect enemies to do the same, and use stealth to either sneak up on enemies or to sneak away if you have to retreat. Tip 5. Your ultimate can apparently break through an enemy ice wall fairly quickly. So if you've just ulted and they've thrown up their ice wall in defense, then it's likely faster to shoot through it than to try to find a way around it. This isn't something I've gone to personally test myself yet. I only found out this was possible after being confronted with those walls and being like, damn, I just ulted, I was hoping I can get them. Now I've got to go all the way around. By the time that happens, I'm out of ammo. So this is a great tip if you can apply it. Tip 6. Your ultimate charge is saved between rounds. So don't waste an ult on a lost round. The situation may be 4v1 and you're thinking, well, I'm gonna die anyway, may as well ult. But unless you're confident in your ability to take down all 4 enemies, it's better to save that ult for a round that you can actually win. Of course, if this is the last round before your team loses, then ult away. Tip 7. Reload safely. Remember, you're at your most vulnerable while reloading. Yes, you can look around now that you know you can look around, but you're still a sitting duck. You can't move. This still makes you an easy target. Ideally, go for snow patches that are behind cover, far away from enemies, towards the edges of the map, places that you deem safe. To be extra safe, or when necessary, you can also throw up an ice wall, which will last long enough for you to reload. Sometimes you have a scenario where you're about to reload, you see an enemy incoming, bam, just throw up the wall, finish the reload, and by the time it goes down, you'll be armed. Tip 8. Remember that you can end your ice blocks and your ice walls at any time before their duration ends. Don't keep ether up longer than necessary. This applies more to ice block. Once you've blocked the enemy's shot, there's often little reason to keep up the ice block unless you're expecting another shot to come in. In fact, you're more likely to surprise your enemy, catch them off guard, by ending the block sooner than expected. Once your enemy wasted his ammo on you, he might not expect you to pop out of ice block right away. He might think he has a couple seconds of time to get away. So if you pop out right away and take the shot, he might not be ready to dodge. Similarly with Ice Wall. If you use it to block an enemy's path and force him to turn around and go the other way, then if you wait just long enough for him to turn around and then take down the wall, you can probably shoot him in the back of the head. Tip 9. You can tell whether an enemy has ammo in their gun or not. Use this knowledge. An enemy with no ammo poses no great threat to you. They pose some threat because they can lend their situational awareness to their team if they're on voice chat, but you still have a huge advantage over them. If they haven't spotted you, you can just follow them to a snow patch and nail them while they're reloading. Also, if you have no ammo and you spot an enemy, don't be afraid of them if they have no ammo. If you're reloading and spot an incoming enemy, then if they have no ammo, don't cancel your reload. You'll get your ammo before they can get theirs. And if you happen to be reloading at the same spot as an enemy, it's first come, first serve. It takes, a couple seconds or however long to refill that ammo, and if someone initiates first, they're gonna get it, and it'll vanish before the other person can get their ammo. Now, one important thing to keep in mind is that even an enemy with no ammo could potentially have his ult. And as soon as he ults, he'll have infinite ammo for a few seconds. So, little bit of a caveat to this tip. And lastly, tip 10, as you're going around the map, scout out locations of the snow piles. This way you can keep that in mind and you'll have an idea of where to retreat to when you run out of ammo. Or where you can expect enemies to go to when they're out of ammo. Of course, keep in mind that if someone else gets to that snowbank first, it'll be gone by the time you get there. And that will generally happen depending on how trigger happy the people in your game are. But still, it's better than just wandering around randomly. And that wraps up our tips. Leave a comment with your tips on this new brawl, or if you don't have any, then what you may have learned from this tip video. The rest of this video will just be some gameplay footage. And here's a bonus tip, since what you're seeing will not be MLG 360 no-scope professional gameplay. The tip is, play to your strengths. I'm left-handed, but I use the mouse with my right hand. So my aim can't be as good as a right-handed person. I mean, you try taking your mouse, flipping over to the left side, and seeing how well you can aim. Using my right hand is just the way I learned to use a computer. I can't change now after 20 years. So basically, aiming is not my strength, and you see that alter my playstyle. I never try to pick a fair fight, because I assume that any enemy I run into will be able to aim better than me. So I try, emphasis on try, to outsmart my enemies. I try to be sneaky. I try to get behind them. I try to fight dirty. I try to fight enemies who are distracted by my teammates, enemies who are unaware of my presence, enemies that are out of ammo. And I'd argue that regardless of your ability to aim, you should always aim to pick your fights, pick engagements in which you have an advantage. Because if you don't have an advantage, then it's basically 50-50 on who wins. And when you only have one life per round, that's not a smart gamble. So that wraps up this video. Again, the rest of this video is just the end of the match. So feel free to close the video or keep watching if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. Check out these other videos and subscribe to join Rhykkers Raiders for more Overwatch content.
Mission accomplished.